What if the Jedi Council went into hiding before Order 66? That's our story for today. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and let's get right into it. Our story begins inside of the Jedi Temple, in one of the temple spires, as Jedi Council Master Mace Windu has just sent Anakin Skywalker to inform the Chancellor that Obi-Wan has engaged General Grievous on Utapau. This was the most crucial moment of the entire war, and Windu thought to himself that at last the Jedi will truly see what the Chancellor is up to. At last, the water will clear for all of it, and he turned to the other Jedi in here, Yoda, Kierimundi, and Aayla Secura, and Windu told them that he senses a plot to destroy the Jedi. Mundi said that they must consider that if Palpatine refuses to give up power, he must be removed from office. The Jedi discussed this reality, but the more they all talked, the more Mace Windu's thoughts circulated around his senses. If what he imagined was true, and there truly was a plot to destroy the Jedi, then he must act quickly. Mace told Yoda that they are almost certainly going to move on the Chancellor once Grievous is destroyed, and once that happens, the Jedi must go into hiding in case Sidious, whoever he may be, intends to try and destroy the Jedi swiftly. Yoda put a hand to his chin as he went into deep thought, and then he told Windu that this would be far too risky. If Sidious is alerted to the entire Jedi Order disappearing from combat, he may call off his plans, and the war will go on. Yoda said that he feels the war will end today, and they cannot risk continuing the war. So Mundi spoke up and said perhaps that only council members should be alerted to go into hiding. May said this was a good idea, as any plot to destroy the Jedi would most certainly focus first on the council members, as they are the most powerful and influential of them all. So now, as they waited for Anakin, they got an update from Ahsoka about Maul's capture, and Mace Windu activated the Jedi Council beacon, and in this communications room, Jedi after Jedi slowly started to enter into the communications room. Shakti, Aegon Kolar, Sazitin, and Kit Fisto entered the room, as they were already in the temple. Stas Ali was on Seleucami preparing to take a speeder on a scouting mission when she joined the meeting. Apple Rancis was also fighting the Seleucami battle, though he was in a ship above the planet, serving as a general. Deba Balaba was with her apprentice, Caleb Doom, when she stepped away from a rough battle to join this meeting. Coleman Cash was on a private meditation retreat away from the war on Tython when he joined. Plo Koon stepped away from his starfighter he was about to board to join this meeting on Cato Nemoidia. And Obi-Wan, fresh off defeating Grievous, joined the meeting looking extremely disheveled. Windu looked to each and every single one of the Jedi, and with the utmost seriousness, he told them that he was preparing to move on Chancellor Palpatine. With Grievous dead, the Jedi are going to request that he give up his emergency powers and return this republic to democracy. If he refuses, then he must be removed from power. Obi-Wan spoke up, asking where Anakin was, and Windu said that he sent the boy to inform Palpatine that Grievous soon will be destroyed. Once Anakin returns with his information on Palpatine's reaction, then Windu will decide how to approach Palpatine. And a moment later, the door to the communications room swung open to reveal Anakin Skywalker, standing there with a worried look on his face. In the time that it took for all of the council masters to get to a safe location and join this sudden meeting, Anakin went to the Chancellor's office and he learned the truth. Palpatine is Sidious, and when Anakin entered the room to see all of the council masters, it gave Anakin a bit of an ego to be able to be the one to reveal this. Of every Jedi in the Order to reveal this information, Anakin was the one to find the truth. And everyone stood in stunned silence as Anakin revealed this truth to them all. Windu was the first to speak, saying their worst fears then have been realized, and they must move on Palpatine immediately. The Sith have control over the Senate and the courts. He must be taken down. And Windu told every council members to get somewhere safe. Go into hiding. Wait for his signal. Palpatine must have some sort of plan. And so as Windu was gathering Fisto, Tin, and Kolar to go with him, Obi-Wan once more spoke up. He said that perhaps Windu should take Anakin and leave the other three Jedi at the temple in case it is attacked. After all, Obi-Wan continued, Anakin is the one who took down Dooku, and he is closer to Palpatine than anyone else. If anyone can talk Palpatine into surrender, or fight him if need be, it's Anakin. Mace hesitated. He didn't trust the boy, but he did trust Obi-Wan. The rest of the council slowly agreed that Mace and Anakin should go, while the others in the temple prepare for an unforeseen attack, and the council members around the galaxy would go into hiding. It was settled then, and soon Windu and Skywalker were in a gunship together, traveling across Coruscant. Anakin told Windu that he knows he doesn't trust him. It wasn't a question, It was a statement, and Windu was silent for a moment before telling Anakin there is a reason Palpatine revealed himself to him. Because Palpatine trusts him. Windu asked why exactly the truth was revealed to Anakin, and Anakin shrugged, only furthering Windu's distrust of him. In the temple, Kit Fisto, Shakti, Agen Kolar, and Sadie Tin were leading the temple lockdown. They didn't have any real idea if an attack was coming, but luckily the Coruscant blockade was ready for any separatist attack. The temple was quickly secured, and across the galaxy in many battles, clone commanders were noticing that their Jedi Council commanders were missing. Most of them figured the Jedi were investigating something and would be back soon, so they simply continued their fights. And in Palpatine's office, the Chancellor watched as the doors opened to reveal Mace Windu and Anakin Skywalker. This was unexpected. Palpatine thought the Jedi would keep Anakin in the temple, but clearly something shifted. No matter, Palpatine thought, Anakin would have no choice but to join him or watch Padme die. Windu told Palpatine that he was under arrest, and so the Sith Lord pulled a saber from his sleeve, igniting the red blade with a sinister smile, and he spun through the air to confront the Jedi. Windu ignited his blade immediately, countering Palpatine's initial attack, blocking his strikes, and Anakin grabbed his own lightsaber, but he didn't ignite it. Something was pulling at him. The dark side was powerful in this room, and it was the thing pulling at him. So Windu and Sidious continued their clash in a violent whirlwind of lightsabers within the red lighting of Palpatine's office. The ferocity of their duel was sending sparks flying around as their blades collided again and again, purple and red blending together, as both fighters were moving like shadows in the wind. Anakin watched, torn between his loyalty to the Jedi and the seductive promises of the Sith. Windu's mastery of Vapad allowed him to match Sidious blow for blow, his purple blade countering the Sith Lord's relentless assault. The Force pulses with each strike, the air thick with the raw energy of their duel, years in the making. And in a decisive moment of this battle, Windu's determination, his power over the dark side would prevail as he sliced through Sidious's crimson blade, sending its hilt clattering to the floor. So the Sith Lord, momentarily disarmed, held a look of panic and fear on his face as he was being backed up to the wall. And he looked to the man he trusted, Anakin Skywalker. Sidious extended a hand towards Anakin, calling for his blue lightsaber, and again Anakin would hesitate, his internal struggle evident, but Sidious still seized this opportunity. With a swift gesture, he used the Force to snatch Anakin's lightsaber from his grasp. Anakin was caught off guard, as his blade was ripped from his shaky, hesitant hands, as it flew to Sidious. Windu couldn't believe it. He thought Anakin threw the blade to the Sith. He felt betrayed, and armed once more, Sidious renewed his attack with a power that caught Windu off guard in his confusion. In a flurry of strikes, Sidious would overwhelm the Jedi Master, exploiting his brief lapse in focus, and with a powerful kick, Sidious sent Windu crashing through the office window, then blasted the Jedi Master with lightning, pent up from years of hatred for the Jedi Order. Sidious was laughing as he blasted Windu and threw him so far out of the window to fall to his death. But Anakin, horrified by the turn of events, would run to the window, reaching out with the Force, trying to save Windu from this fatal fall. He caught Windu with the Force as he fell to his death, and Sidious slowly turned his head to see Anakin straining to hold on to the Jedi Master. In this reality, Anakin saw the horrors of how powerful Sidious was, and his doubts about the Sith truly wanting to save Padme were at the front of his mind. And Sidious could sense this betrayal, so Sidious, now embracing the full power of the dark side, would unleash a torrent of lightning at Anakin. The young Jedi was wrecked with agony, his attempt to hold Windu in the sky faltering as the electricity coursed through him. The lightning was burning through his skin, but Anakin still held Windu in place in the air, slowly lowering him, refusing to let go. But Sidious turned, and now he threw Anakin out of the window. Anakin flew through the air, going in and out of consciousness as he slammed into walls, slipping all the way to the ground, his vision going dark, as Palpatine would now angrily move to his communicator, executing Order 66 across the galaxy. In a matter of minutes, Jedi across the galaxy were slaughtered mercilessly by their own men. Older Jedi, Jedi Masters, Knights, Padawans, Jedi of all different ages, gender, species, all of them shot down in a matter of minutes, except for those on the Council. The Council Masters, including their Padawans like Caleb Doom, sat in a hidden cave, a ship, or other hiding places, and although they were not shot down, they felt the wave of darkness as it spread through the galaxy. Each and every council member knew the tide of the war has shifted. Something truly terrible has happened, and they had no choice but to stay hidden to avoid the wave of darkness coming for them. Unfortunately, some of the council masters could not afford to wait. Aporensis was on a Republic Venator, alone in his quarters when he felt the dark wave, so he went to ask his men about it and was quickly killed. The same happened to Stas Ali on the surface of Seleucami. She stepped out of her hidden cave, and clone speeders destroyed her. The rest of the council stayed hidden, realizing not even the clones could be trusted. And in the temple, as the Jedi Council Masters were trying to hide all of the children after feeling this wave, the temple guards informed them that the 501st Legion was climbing the stairs to the temple doors. So, Kit Fisto, Aegon Kolar, and Sazy Tin soon stood in front of a line of 100 temple guards ready for battle. As the clones reached the final step, Fisto heard a lightsaber ignite, slicing through flesh, and he turned to see both Aegon Kolar and Sazy Tin gasp, falling to the ground dead, cut in half. One of the temple guards turned against them, and Fisto moved in against this guard right as the 501st clones charged into the temple, firing at the loyal Jedi and temple guards as they tried to defend against this sudden onslaught. Everything was going wrong for the Jedi. Kit Fisto was moving through a wave of yellow blades as the temple guards fought the clones, and he fought the traitorous temple guard, set to be the Grand Inquisitor in Sidious's empire. The two of them moved into the main hall, but the duel would not last much longer. Fisto was an excellent duelist, and he knew the Jedi Order and security of the temple relied on him, so he was able to cut the yellow saber in half before turning and stabbing the Inquisitor through the chest to kill him. And Fisto turned back to the temple entrance, preparing to re-enter this fight. In the streets of Coruscant, Anakin Skywalker was slowly waking up, his vision blurred, his head in extreme pain. He felt pain radiating through his body from the fall, and he was slowly rolling to get up when he saw Mace Windu quickly approaching him. Anakin held on for long enough to make sure Windu survived, but now Mace got to Anakin, demanding to know what he was thinking. Why would he throw Palpatine his lightsaber? Anakin groaned that he didn't. Palpatine pulled it from him. Mace closed his eyes. He was frustrated and angry, and he could see the smoke coming from the Jedi Temple. While he and Anakin were knocked out, something terrible has happened to the Jedi Order. He asked Anakin why he didn't help him fight the Sith Lord, and Anakin told the truth now. Things were falling apart. There was no need to lie. He told Windu that Palpatine promised he could save Padme from dying in childbirth, and everything quickly clicked for Windu. Anakin was the father. Of course he was. But now Windu had to act, telling Skywalker to go find Padme, tell her what has happened, and hopefully she can make a difference in the Senate. Mace was going back to the temple to do whatever he could to help. And inside the temple, the battle was nearing its end as Shaak Ti and Kit Fisto were leading the defense against the clones. The Jedi were losing, fast. But luckily, when the clones were climbing the stairs, Shaak Ti had used the council beacon to ask all of the council members to return to Coruscant and aid with this defense. And as Shaak Ti and Kit Fisto were among the last Jedi to protect the Jedi that could not protect themselves, Mace Windu entered the temple, grabbing the blade of a fallen Jedi. He helped push the clones back, and seconds later, all of the Jedi Council members that survived also entered the temple. This was enough to force the clones out of the temple once and for all. They either died or evacuated into the streets to try and regroup, but the Jedi Order stood, despite the overwhelming odds against them. Yoda, Plo, Mundi, Kenobi, T, Depa, Coleman, Fisto, and Windu stood together now. Appo, Stas Ali, Sazy, and Kolar all died, and now Yoda and Windu ordered Coleman Kaj and Shaak Ti to escort all of the surviving Jedi in the temple into the underbelly of Coruscant, go as far down as they safely can until Sidious is destroyed. New orders will be sent to them eventually. Coleman and T would accept this order, gathering all of the young and old Jedi, guiding them down into the dangerous Coruscant underbelly, while the other 7 council members prepared for battle. They marched together through Coruscant all the way back to the Republic Executive Building. There was still time to get to Sidious before he declared himself as Emperor. As Obi-Wan walked with everyone, he was worried about Anakin, and Mace told him that Anakin was with Senator Amidala, his wife, the mother of his child. Mace didn't tell anyone how Anakin hesitated in the office. That was for another time, and Obi-Wan was secretly happy for Anakin. As they finally reached the executive building, a group of Coruscant Guard clones, led by Commander Fox, ran out of the main door, along with 6 royal guards for Palpatine, as they ignited their electro staffs, creating an opening for Palpatine to walk out into as he ignited his spare red blade. Finally, a fight worth his time, Sidious thought, and in seconds, the streets of Coruscant would erupt into chaos as the new battle would get underway. Yoda, Windu, and Plo moved towards Darth Sidious in a duel, their sabers clashing with the Sith Lord again and again, the old but powerful Yoda flipping and spinning off nearby buildings, evading Sidious's strikes of the blade and with lightning, while Windu's powerful blows forced the Dark Lord to act in defense, even with Windu's injuries from the fall. Plo Koon was an elite duelist, and an excellent addition with Yoda and Windu. Sidious was still pushing the Jedi Masters to their limits as they fought to defeat him. Nearby, Obi-Wan, Depa Billaba, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Kit Fisto would face off against the 6 Royal Guards and the massive Coruscant Guard clones, led by Fox. The Guards' electrostaffs would crackle with energy as they clashed with the Jedi sabers, sparks flying with each impact. These Guards were the best of the best, trained for this very moment, but they were no Jedi. Obi-Wan's defensive mastery held off multiple Guards at once, allowing Kit Fisto to aid him, taking the offensive and quickly taking out these Guards. Depa and Ki-Adi-Mundi skillfully deflected blaster bolts back at all of the clones, their own blades moving quickly as they weaved through the waves of troopers, striking them down despite their former loyalty to the clones. Blaster fire fills the air as the clones pressed their attack, trying to overwhelm the Jedi with numbers, but the sounds began to fade as the Jedi began to win. The streets were littered with fallen clones. Ki-Adi-Mundi was also shot down by Fox and his squad before Depa could take them out. The Jedi were about to take out all of the clones and Royal Guards, and they looked back over to the duel with Sidious. Yoda, Windu, and Plo intensified their assault on Sidious. Windu's Shatterpoint technique pinpointed Sidious's weaknesses, allowing Yoda to exploit openings with extremely fast strikes, cutting across Sidious's chest and through an arm as Plo force-pushed the Dark Lord through a wall. Sidious looked up through bloody, blurred vision to see the 6 blades near his face as Windu swung down to finally kill the Sith Lord. And as they all stood here, contemplating their next moves, a speeder with Anakin and Padme flew down to them. Anakin saw the dead body of Palpatine and was scared for Padme's life, but he knew it was wrong to trust the Sith. He would figure everything out. Padme asked what happens now, and the Jedi all looked to each other before Windu gave Padme an answer. The Jedi Master told Padme to blame the Jedi for everything. The war, the assassination of Palpatine, everything. He told Padme to bring the Republic together under one false truth, that the Jedi are the enemy. The Jedi were willing to sacrifice their reputation in order to ensure that democracy returns to the Republic. And Padme understood. The Jedi were going to go into exile on Ahch-To, a planet hidden deep in the galaxy, and perhaps someday they can return, but for now, they will be the scapegoat of all of this. Anakin told Padme that he will see her soon, and the Jedi left after gathering everyone hidden deep in Coruscant. In the Senate, Padme would lie as instructed. She would tell everyone that the Jedi tried to take over the Republic, and now everyone must unite to bring this order to an end. The Jedi Order is no more, while the Republic stands, and the Republic would indeed unite over this, bringing a swift end to the war, electing Padme as the next Chancellor, as she would give a successful birth to twins. And on Ahch-To, deep in the galaxy, the surviving 1,000 Jedi would begin their new life. It was a life of peace, separate from the galaxy. The war was over, the Jedi were over, at least to the galaxy they were. Yoda would step down from his role as he felt that he failed to keep the Jedi safe, and there would instead be a council of Grand Masters, including Shaak-Ti, Obi-Wan, and Plo Koon as the first 3 new Grand Masters. The Jedi would survive in peace, as Anakin Skywalker would spend a lot of time on Naboo, secretly raising his children, while Padme would lead a rebuilding Republic, and in time, perhaps the two could reunite again, Jedi and Republic, but not for many years, as the galaxy moved on. And folks, that is our story for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's one I've wanted to do for a bit. It's just kind of a different take on, what if the Jedi Council survived? What if the Jedi went into hiding? Just the Jedi Council only, as I think that's more realistic. There wasn't really time to get all of the Jedi into hiding, obviously, because there was 10,000 of them. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun writing it. New story tomorrow. So, stay tuned for that. Of course, subscribe. We are so close to 70,000, which is a big number. 70,000 best friends. Alright, folks. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next video.